Hi everybody, it's me again, talking to you about stuff, not at all advising you or telling you what to do. I wanted to bring up some other things that might be hard to come by or too expensive in the next following weeks or months. And one of them is tin foil. This is literally the last piece of tin foil that I have in my drawer. And I would suggest just saving any that you have as long as you can, as long as it's not all super funky. Rinsing it off and reusing it as best you can. You can go old school and put your food in a bowl and put a plate on top, and that actually stacks really well in the fridge. You could also just save your butter dishes, sour cream, not dishes, but containers, things like that, and put stuff in there to save from using any kind of a tin foil or anything. Also reusing my giant bags. This one had some flour and I just fold it up, seal it, and I use it for more flour. Another thing to consider are your fabric softener sheets. So of course these are mainly for static. They just happen to smell pretty good, but you don't need a whole one. You can consider, if you want to, if you were listening to someone who's just talking like me and not at all giving you advice and telling you what to do, cut them into thirds and you'd get 3 uses out of one sheet. Another neat thing I like to do is when I do buy bread, keeping the bag wrapper, because this is a great wrapper to put your food back in store for a little while. You also, when you do buy fresh produce and you get those bags, that's a free bag. When you fill up the bags in your produce section, that's a free bag. You can kind of clean it up and put it somewhere in like a Tupperware or something to keep on hand for times that you can't really find plastic goods. Now, bath toiletries. So my husband's body wash, this one I use because it smells good. My shampoos and my conditioners. I'm gonna make a suggestion that might make everybody not happy, and that's water them down. If you're trying to make it stretch and go a longer way, save some money, or you're still not on the shelf when you're trying to go shop for them, water it down. I would water it maybe even by half. Shake it up every time before you use it. Something else I always water down is my fabric softener liquid. I water it down all the time. As soon as it's empty, if I do buy another one or I make something similar to it, I will pour and fill it halfway, and then just the rest of it is water, and shake it up all the time before I go to use it. Makes it last so much longer. And I think you could still hit up the dollar stores, $1 or more, and pick up some cheap stuff, and maybe find a container when you first start out, add some water to it, water that stuff down in case you're having trouble at the store finding that product, or the prices are too high, or this place to shop is scary. Dish soap, it's another one. Water it down, get twice as much out of it, maybe even 3 times. It depends on how bad things are at the store. Water it down. I do have a recipe for this. I should post that. It's a powdered recipe. It's not fantastic, but it does the job for your dishwasher. It does it just fine. Another one is, this is not even what's in what the bottle says. So this is homemade inside, and I even water that down. And I just shake it before I use it every single time. These are all just little suggestions that I have to make things stretch, instead of running to the store and thinking, oh, we need to get saran wrap, and don't forget the sandwich bags, and we need the tin foil, and oh my gosh, we need this marriage of soaps and liquid detergents and shampoos and conditioners. This way, at least you could make what you have stretch, and then if you do go buy all of those things, you could make them stretch a little longer. So if you go to the store and you're like, hey, I'm gonna buy 2 or 3 of these jugs, maybe if you've saved an old one of these, you could just start by pouring some of the new stuff into the old jar and just keep filling that with water, and that's gonna make that last a whole lot longer. Maybe you can ride out the costs that are possibly coming our way. Maybe you could ride out not having to go to the store when it's a little scary out, you know? Or if you've been there and everything's wiped out and you're like, well, great, now what am I gonna do? Maybe you can ride that out a little bit longer by just using and reusing some products that you already had. So I'm trying really hard to think of everything and share that with you. But I think I've covered it all. You definitely would like to have a first aid kit in your house. If you don't already, that's something I would suggest to everybody. If you were listening to somebody make suggestions, maybe you're just listening and judging and not wanting to have anybody tell you what to do. I'm not doing that. I'm just talking. Something to think about. It's just something to think about if you want to. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to today. Yeah, I did do a video on how to make a grid down washing machine. That's on my channel, and that would help in the event of things like what's going on back east right now. These people are without power and have a lot of trouble on their way, a lot of recovery. And who's to say that wouldn't happen to somebody else in a different area of the world? Flooding, earthquakes, hurricanes, all kinds of things. These things are just smart to have in general, but that's just my opinion. Dog and cat food. Have you considered making it yourself? Not a bad idea. Also, litter. You could use, if you were taking advice, newspaper, magazines, cut it up, throw it in there. No, it's not ideal, but it's something. At least it's something. You could even do what animals are primal to using and go out back and grab some dirt if you had to. Is it ideal? No. No, it's not. It's not like I'm just going to start using dirt and save money on my litter. I'm not saying to just go run outside and scoop up any old dirt and hope your cat doesn't get an infection or anything. I'm just saying that in the event that you can't get any and you still need to have something for your cats, there are other things. Wood chips. If you can find wood chips or you have a chipper, things like that, that's not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. Those are things that you could think of in the back of your mind and go, okay, well, I'm not going to panic. The stores are out, or they want 3 times the price it used to be. I don't have to panic. I could go home and use this other idea, this other method that I learned. So I'm just sharing that with you. Just sharing. Hope you guys like the content. Share and subscribe if you want to. I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Bye-bye.